tradition. It is also a great source of proteins for vegetarians. Milk has been recognized as the most comprehensive natural food, serving a significant part of the diets over 6 billion people worldwide. Today, India is not only the world's largest producer with 239 million tons milk production in 2023-2024, but also the largest consumer of milk with milk availability of 471 grams per day per capita. The milk production in India contributes nearly meets 1/4 of global production. This scale brings with it immense opportunities, but also the responsibility to safeguard quality, safety, and compliance across the entire daily value chain. However, the demand for dairy alternatives has increased recently for various reasons, including the medical conditions like milk allergy, lactose intolerance, phenylketonuria, and cholesterol issues, as well as the personal choices like vegan, vegetarian diets or concerns about growth hormones or antibiotic residues in milk. Another aspect in utilizing these analogs to reduce cost, tailor or improve functionality, and meet legal requirements. Most dairy products have well-defined labeling requirements, but other nutritional ingredients can be added to the analogs to improve the health outlook. Nevertheless, creating dairy substitute that match dairy products' sensory and nutritional attributes remains challenging and affects consumer acceptance. Today, we are going to discuss about all of this. Once again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our food safety conversation. I'm Sarika Agarwal, founder and principal consultant, Food Safety Works, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. Our topic today for today's discussion is proteins, analogs, and adulteration. To explore this subject, we are honored to have our 4 esteemed leaders from the dairy sector with us, and I'm delighted to introduce them to you. Our first speaker, Mr. Charles, Director of TruCoo, Dairy Products Limited, Coimbatore. With nearly 2 decades of leadership in dairy operations, he has played a key role in strengthening the presence of paneer, ghee, curd, and other dairy products across Tamil Nadu. Welcome, Mr. Charles.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. J. Samba Murthy, CEO, Heritage Foods. Mr. Samba comes with 36 plus years of experience in dairy industry, and out of that, 19 years have been with Heritage. Mr. Samba holds an MBA Business Admin from Shivaji University and a Bachelor of Science from Osmania University. He has his experience in leadership across marketing, leading projects, and general management in beverages, food, and agribusinesses. Welcome, Mr. Samba.
Thank you.
Third speaker, we have Mr. R. Mohan Kumar, Head Quality, Dodla Dairy. With a bachelor's degree in dairy technology and over 25 years of industry experience, he comes with a vast experience of setting up the process at various industries like GSK, Amway, and at Dodla, and has helped the company grow into one of India's leading dairies. Pleasure having you, Mr. Mohan.
Thank you.
Our final speaker, Dr. S.K. Bhalla, a veteran of India's dairy industry. He has served as CEO of Mother Dairy, Director at Quality Dairy, Advisor at NDDB, and is currently Director at Gopalji Dairy Foods. His career spans both public and private sectors, making him one of the most experienced voices in dairy operations and food safety. Welcome, Dr. Bhalla.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sarika. I am not with Gopal Dairy now. Rather, I am working with the CP Milk Food in Lucknow. Actually, I am sitting in the Gorak because we are planning to launch something in the extended shelf life milk. So that's why I was requesting that if the signals go away, so you have to forgive me. Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the update as well. Pleasure to have all of you from the dairy industry with such a vast experience to share your insights. So we start with our conversation. The first question, starting with you, sir, Mr. Charles. To set the stage, while milk is the large part of the dairy industry, what are the other emerging categories of the dairy products in the market?
Thank you for giving me an opportunity. Hope you are just hearing me, right? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, as you rightly points out, more than 60% to 65% is only liquid milk marketing by all the companies, cooperatives, and privates across across India. Of late, if you just look at the, the purchasing capacity of people and the consumption pattern of people, paneer is getting kind of, place in their diet, especially at least twice a week, people take paneer. It has become, it is likely to become a staple food. As per the data available in 2024, the paneer consumption in India was 16.08 lakh tons. It's likely to increase twofold by 2029. It will be little more than 20 lakh tons. So people started consuming paneer because this is the only animal protein available for the vegetarians. India having more maximum vegetarian population, this is the only animal protein available for the vegetarians. So it's becoming little, it has become people giving a lot of emphasis in their food habits. And protein, because it gives 18 grams of protein in every 100 grams of paneer. So this is the animal protein. And as a result, slowly, it is picking up. People started purchasing paneer. Now, the second product which is just becoming popular is ghee. With the recent, GST relaxation from 12 to 5%, the ghee consumption is likely to increase. The per capita consumption of ghee over the years was only 23 ml per month per person in India, and it's likely to increase when they increase the consumption of ghee. Yeah, people say that because there are a lot of scientific papers also, and recently some people are also just prominent people in the industry and also in the religious sector. They are all just propagating that every day a person has to take a spoonful of ghee along with either black tea or black coffee in the morning, so that this osteoporosis issues can be just addressed in future. So ghee is also slowly picking up because it's becoming little expensive now. With the reduction of 7% of GST, the price is likely to come down and people may like to just take it in the diet. As far as South India is concerned, ghee is considered as only as a flavoring agent. It is not like North India, it's a cooking media. Here, cow ghee is used and it is only a flavoring agent. The third product which is just becoming very popular nowadays is the milk sweets. Because, slowly, milk sweets is picking up and people started using milk sweets with sugar or without sugar or with some sugar replacement, additive, something like that. That sweets are just becoming popular. As you are aware that butter is always becoming a kind of day-to-day requirement for our children, especially the school-going children. Bread, butter, jam is a staple diet for them. So butter is again another thing. And there are other similar small products coming up and ethnic products. We call it one important thing I've noticed in the recent days is the millet, lassi. Millet lassi is becoming popular nowadays because lassi, as you are aware, it has got a lot of probiotic characteristics. Buttermilk is also having a probiotic characteristic. But in South, buttermilk is only a seasonal product. Only during summer it will be sold. During winter, people will not take it. People did not even still understand the importance of a lot of generic, campaign has to be, carried out. Curd is another thing, if you look at it, we look Karnataka, Karnataka Milk Federation is selling more than 12 to 15 lakh kg of curd per day in the state. That means curd has become another product which people now do not make in the home, and it only the industry is just manufacturing it. As a result, the habit of taking curd is slowly increasing. People say you should not take curd in the night because it's not like that. It has to be taken anytime. And curd is a good probiotic, food, and it takes care of your gut health. So slowly, people are changing their food habits with the younger generation coming up more and more. This flavored milk is also picking up in the market because, when compared to other, drinks, flavored milk is definitely, is healthier, and people slowly taking this as a fun drink. And other things are just slowly, like there are so many other small things like Greek yogurt, stirred yogurt, so many things which are all, very minuscule. It's not, taken such a stage so far. Cheese is becoming slowly popular because, people started taking cheese, which is again animal protein for the vegetarians, and slowly this habit is picking up. Whereas, unfortunately, India has got only 3 variants of cheese. One is cheddar cheese, other one is processed cheese, third one is the mozzarella cheese. Whereas in the world, 16 out of 39 varieties of cheese is available. So this is one of the things industry is slowly picking up. I think industry, private and both cooperative, they are looking at this, and cheese is also picking up. I think, madam, with this, I will just conclude my initial remarks, and I leave others to join me because, I have experts in this, and they will be able to give more, insight into this aspect. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so it's interesting to see saying like how the landscape is changing, right? The requirements are changing. The cheese, as so mentioned, people are looking at it more consumption, and it's an interesting outlook that you mentioned with the GST reduction. What you are seeing is the consumption of ghee going, higher than what people are doing, right, or consuming today. And same with, I think, paneer that you mentioned, the consumption is going to go high. And it did mention saying like the animal protein that we get for especially the vegetarian is through paneer. So coming to you, Mr. Samba, in this, with studies showing around 73% or more of Indians consuming less protein than recommended, which of these categories that Mr. Charles mentioned have a potential to deliver higher density nutrition for the customers?
Yeah. So, okay. So before answering this question, I like to inform to entire forum because of this GST rationalization. Now ghee tax it has been reduced to 5%, and paneer currently taxed at 5%. It has been reduced to 0% now, and similarly cheese now it has been reduced to 5% from 12%. Particularly that ice creams have now currently it is 18%, now reduced to 5%. Even UHT milk, so that is taxed at 5%, now it is now 0% now, which is effective from 22nd September onwards. As a company, so we have decided, and now we are going to pass on entire GST benefit to the end consumers. So whatever is there, we are reducing the MRPs, and then we are going to implement from 22nd September onwards. Just want to communicate to the forum. Then I hope entire dairy industry, since we are from dairy industry, ultimately then we have been, I think Ms. Charles knows about it, that we have been representing the governments to reduce the GST on ghee and butter quite a long time, but now it is materialized now. Even flavored milk, formally they have again made it as 5% now. Earlier, we have all gone to Supreme Court and got the order, but now in the current notification, now it is taxed as 5%. So based on that, particularly when it comes to paneer, now it is zero tax. So when you asked about the consumption of people, then consuming it less as per the recommended, Actually, that as per the data, ICMR data, the average adult requires at about 54 grams per day protein. So, which means, of course, it is based on your weight of body. And then, if it is 70 kg man, so it requires at about 65 to 70 gram protein. So, average is about, you can say, take it about 55 to 60 grams per day. And major protein comes from dairy, particularly milk, paneer, cheese, curd, whey protein, and any other fortified alternatives, fortified milk alternatives. So now the major consumption shifted after COVID, post-COVID. The vegetarian actually now started taking paneer. Even in South India, the consumption used to be very low compared to north or west. Sorry for that. So somewhere, yeah. So consumption has reduced now. So consumption now South India it has increased. Then as like north and west, then even we can see the paneer sales volume growth also for last 3 to 4 years. As Mr. Charles mentioned that yeah, it is going to go up very huge. And now the major the protein product is paneer now. And then with this GST reduction and made it zero, and I certainly feel that the consumption of paneer will grow and go up drastically across India. So that is one item actually. Any adult can, or any even any ages child to even youngsters to old age, then they can consume the paneer. And then we have again milk also. Milk now we have toned milk based on essence of toned milk, full cream milk and all. But there are now we are coming out with high protein, because by giving concentrated skim milk, so we'll get the high protein. Generally in cow milk, you will be having it about 3 to 3.2 grams of percentage of protein. Now it is also going to go up, and we also as a company is also trying to give more protein in the milk as well. Cheese as it is, we are having protein. So these are the products actually is coming up. And curd, as mentioned by Ms. Charles, curd actually volumes are going up. Consumption is going up actually. So all consumers, young age and to the old age also consuming curd. And I think Ms. Charles, we are actually number 3, number 4 across in the country in terms of curd actually. So fourth largest dairy in the country. This one being first being Nandini, then Amul, Adson, and ourselves. We are doing much curd, and the growth is good actually. And consumption, overall consumption is going up, and most of the companies have started. Even some companies started with curd and then going to the milk. So like that, the consumption is going. So all consumers in India, particularly vegetarians, should go for paneer, cheese, curd, and milk as well. So in order to get more protein. And in the paneer itself, currently we are having at about the current paneer is having about the normal paneer about 18 to 20 grams of protein in that. But now we are coming out with high protein, which is about 25 grams paneer, 25 grams protein in the paneer as well. It can also go to 30 to 33 grams in paneer. Which means 30 to 33% of protein in the paneer itself. So that products are now being are coming now. So industry is focusing on this high protein products. So I think we can go along with all companies now can focus for further more consumption of this protein products. So thank you.
That's interesting to know, saying like, the high protein paneer is coming up to meet the demand, of today's consumers, especially the vegetarians, where we are deficit with the protein content that we eat our food with, right? So coming to you, Mr. Mohan, around the same thing, right? We heard Mr. Charles, Mr. Murthy, talking about the consumption getting increased, right? With that, I think with the consumption increasing in paneer, ghee, khoa, and all of those, how realistic is it to ensure consistent safety and quality across such a vast supply chain?
Yeah, yes, I think Mr. Charles and Mr. Samurthy have very clearly delineated what are the upcoming products and the trends that are catching up. So yes, as the consumption grows, so some data shows that the consumption, the overall milk production is actually growing at 5 to 6% on an average, and the consumption is also not far behind. It's about 3%. It's something it's growing around 2.5 to 3.5% year on year. So very thoughtful question, and it actually touches the heart of the India's dairy sector's challenge. So while we grow the dairy sector, but definitely ensuring the safety is a paramount importance. So just before we conclude or understand whether it is realistic or unrealistic, what you mentioned. So just try to break it down how the entire dairy value chain is kind of organized currently. So if you see the scale of production, so in India there are about 7 to 8 million farmers, 70 to 80 million farmers, which is about 70 to 80 crores of farmers households who are actually producing the milk, and each of these farmers have a very 2 to 3 animals, unlike the Western countries where the animal size is quite high. So our first challenge starts here. So that is the fragmentation of the producers, which is quite challenging to make the standardization a bit difficult. So that is one of the challenge. So now, after the farmers produce, the next step in our milk value chain is the the way the distribution, the entire supply chain is routed. We have the village collection centers, then chilling centers, then followed into processing plants, and then distribution. Across all these aspects of the value chain, if you see, the major risk is the cold chain. Excuse me, the major risk is the cold chain. So ensuring cold chain is definitely one of the key importance and key drivers for ensuring the safety of the milk and milk products. Apart from that, across this value chain, there is also a risk or a challenge where the adulteration is very, very risky. So for whatever be the reason, we have come across a lot of adulteration challenges which are there in the milk. Now, there are of course some product specific risks, but which are being which can be managed. But if you see, the major aspect which will help us to understand whether it is realistic or unrealistic is how the entire collection is organized. Say, still in India, about 50 to 60% of the milk is in unorganized sector, which means that the unorganized sector means it's all not collected by either cooperatives or the private dairies or any of the organized setup. So this milk is going into the unorganized sector, the loose milk. So this is the real biggest challenge. So to answer your question on the safety of the milk, yes, it is realistic in terms of what the private dairies and the cooperatives do, because they have built up a very good robust quality management system across the value chain. But when it comes to unorganized sector, the quality management systems are poor, and also even coming to the scale of collection and organization, it is even very difficult to say. FSSA has laid down a lot of specifications, but enforcing all these will become or is becoming quite hectic task, and sometimes it's almost unrealistic at this moment. So surrounding all these, encompassing all these challenges, so we can say that milk no, is safe. The milk is safe when it is in the hands of cooperatives or the private dairies who are in an organized sector. But when it comes to unorganized sector, yes, there can be challenges.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. So I think with 50-60% still being unorganized, we still have a challenge to basically provide a safe quality product in the market, right? And we do see a lot of news around saying like adulterated product, and with festivals coming up, I think all the milk products, sweets, I think we have to be a little more careful about that, right? Yeah, so coming to you, Dr. Bhalla, you're there with us, right? I think Dr. Bhalla? Yeah, I think he's there with us. Yes, Dr. Bhalla. So with your experience of 4 decades, right, you have seen practically the industry growing from completely disorganized to partially organized. I would say, okay, 50-50 or a 60-40 type of organization right now, right? And then there's still a long way to go. So what do you consider the primary root causes of your adulteration?
Thank you very much, Sarika, and all the speakers, Mr. Charles, Murthy, and Mr. Mohan. It's an opportunity which has been given to me. And Sarika, I would like to speak, I would like to add actually all these eminent speakers. They have given a lot of insight informations. But let us take a break for a little bit of 2 minutes to digress, and let's go to the basic of milk, when we started 74 years before, etc., etc. I am associated with this milk industry from last 50 years. Rather, actually, it is more, because during our education also we are in the milk system only. See, actually, way back 50 years before, let us take a journey of milk. The milk that time was scantily available all over the country. But by this, the growing the milk demand, etc. And by this milk increasing has taken place. Milk consumption, now there are 2 ways. As you have said rightly, we are the largest producer, but we are the largest user also, consume milk, because that's our tradition. Milk is something, which every mother would like to give to the child, not the cold drinks, but the milk. So this is what is connected to the milk, the health perception. The perception of health is connected to the milk. This is so good in our country. Well, not only in our country, many other countries also. So actually, whenever you see now, madam, this demography is changing and the economics is coming. The moment you have some money available to you, a larger portion goes into the kitchen. And of this, we have calculated almost, if you increase by 100 rupees, 4 to 5 rupees go to the milk consumption. Because everybody, the moment you have money, you would like to go for the milk consumption. Now, milk consumption is one thing. Now, by and by, because this is a value addition is required. Now, particularly, let us take a journey of paneer, because today's subject is paneer. Now, 50 years before, in the southern part of the country, or actually rather I should say, the paneer was available only in the northern part, or in the western, little bit, northern part. And paneer was made at home, like dahi was made at home. Paneer was made at home. It was not available, packed paneer, etc. For the marriages also, when you need the paneer, you have to go to the particular places and buy the loose paneer, which is continued now also. But by, as you know, people started moving from north to south, south to north. People are coming here. Now, like dosa is a buzzword everywhere, all over the country. If you go, you'll get the dosa. Similarly, when you go anywhere, you will get the paneer dishes. So, this is exchange of taste buds and the products. Now, paneer has gone to all these places also. I was serving in the Karnataka dairy for a long time. And in this particular place, the paneer is not available. But people used to ask, can we get the paneer? Now, paneer This is how, and the paneer has been associated. If you see, in English language, we call paneer as a cottage cheese. It's a synonym of cheese. Cheese in Western countries is, or the paneer is similar to the cheese from the Western countries. Paneer is nothing but the concentrated protein portion, and the way goes out. We'll come back to the protein because you know that we are talking of the protein, etc. So this is how the journey of protein has paneer has taken place. Now afterwards, what is happening? Now another thing which is that which is very important, Mr. Charles has mentioned, 3-4 economic reasons. Those have come now, and the myths were holding now also. One should not consume the ghee. Ghee is bad for you because of the cholesterol. Thanks to the World Health Organization, 20 years before they have come, cholesterol is not a harmful thing. So, and suddenly, that I will not name the people, suddenly people said, no, this cholesterol is good. And suddenly the milk, ghee consumption has increased. We made all efforts as marketing guys to increase the ghee consumption. No. But suddenly we find every year we have 5 or 7% of ghee consumption increasing. So the myths are being. Unfortunately, I don't know. There are some, let's not talk about the lobbies, etc. But people are working against the milk. Every Diwali, Holi, you will see, that Safed Doodh Ka Kala Dhanda. Suddenly, you will find all those things. So we'll come to the adulteration also, since, this subject is quite vast. So I'm trying to, go one by one. So value-added products, when we thought of the value-added products, then one of the product was paneer. Now cheese is another common product. Today, cheese is no more the cheese. Cheese is consumed on pizza, cheese is consumed on sandwiches, cheese is consumed on a lot of things. So there is a lot of requirement of the cheese. So because once again, that is a concentrated paneer. So these kind of changes what are taking place in our taste buds with the economy available, now that is very important. And now, this is what we have taken the history of these products. Now, see, to our luck, few things have changed. Post-COVID, people have stopped or reduced taking unpacked product. So this is one good thing has happened for us. So paneer, suddenly that packaged paneer demand has gone. All the places where I work, I find, we are unable to cope up to the requirement of packaged paneer. Similarly, like, that Mr. Charles has mentioned about the sweets. At one time, we used to have the open sweets. Now people don't go for this. They say, let's have the packaged sweets, which is little hygienic conditions, food safety, and good value for the money. So these changes what are taking place are helping the dairy industry to have the value-added products and change themselves. Having said that, now GST, actually loose paneer was our enemy because they have no GST. And we have to do a lot of other things, that 5 kg paneer, blah, 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 etc. But now clear-cut demarcation has come. No, paneer means paneer, 0 GST. So I that it becomes very difficult for the loose paneer seller to, have a fight with us because people realize it's good paneer. Now, coming back to protein quality. So let's talk about the protein inbuilt quality and little bit compare with any other protein. Actually, as today also, because I don't know what is the English word for this, that follow the suit, the bhed chart. Because everybody says, no, protein. Everybody wants protein, protein, protein. Actually, if you see, I'm working with one of the companies. We are falling short of whey protein concentrates and the whey proteins. People don't know. Nobody has given them the knowledge what protein they should consume. Is it casein? Is it whey protein and casein? Is it milk protein concentrate? Nobody knows. This is very unfortunate, and I really don't find anybody coming upward to really educate the people what kind of protein you need. This is very important. I will request this entire speaker and to you also that somewhere make it a mention of this thing. What is the type of protein you need? Now, another thing now when we are talking about the protein, let's talk about the plant protein. I am not against plant protein, first of all. Nobody should think that I am against plant protein. But yes, I am for milk protein because I don't call it animal protein, I call it milk protein. Now, why milk protein? What is so good about this thing? Because SK Bhalla is saying no. Because protein efficiency ratio of milk protein is egg protein is slightly better, maybe 0.05% per se, but otherwise 2.88, which is almost the best protein efficiency ratio. Now it has been measured in a lot of other terminology also, but the facts remain same. So people should not compare milk protein with plant protein because of the availability of essential amino acids and their well-knit work and the ratios. So somewhere this should be mentioned. Having said that, another thing I was going to mention is, now let us talk a little bit on the RD. I will not go to that in the 55 gram, etc. and how do you get it. So that's the choice one. Let's leave it to them. Now another thing, what we talk about little bit time, because particularly about this adulteration and the regulation which is coming about the dairy products analog. Serving for 40 years also, or 45 years. I'm still not clear. If somebody asks me, can you clarify to me, what is that star rating? What is that analog? Our products, dairy products are compared to the cold drinks, and this cold drink is getting the better star. Our fortified products, ultra processed food are getting better star rating than us in the dairy industry. How is it possible? So anyway, that's another subject which we are struggling. We are going to the food regulators. But today let's talk about the analog. Analog, no, it's okay. If somebody wants plant protein, let them eat it. There is nothing wrong. Because ultimately, all of us eat protein because we are forgetting it. Every day we have dal, chawal, chapati, etc. These are nothing but the plant proteins. And we are eating it. So why we should be against the plant protein? Only thing our request and the submission is that people, those are making a product as an analog with plant protein, should not claim it as a dairy product. There should be a clarification, red warning, that this is an analog and not the milk protein. Label declarations. So today I really don't find the clarity means, I'm choosing my words, the required clarity for a common person is not there. People do read the labels nowadays, but they do not understand these things. Because, the whole life we fought for, this ice cream, frozen dessert and ice cream. Today also people don't differentiate between the frozen dessert and ice cream. So what to talk of this analogs if it take another 40, 50 years, if we go on the same pace. But I'm sure we'll modify, we'll accelerate our pace to understand these things. And third thing is, we are talking about the adulteration. Why I am trying to complete my term, Sarika, because as I have requested you, I'm sitting in a place where some trials are going on. Unfortunately, this trial time has come also the same time what we have to the meeting, but I cannot skip the meeting. So I'm trying to cover up everything. So I'm talking about the adulteration now. See, we talk, that adulteration should not be there. But as an industry, I was in Indian Dairy Association meeting another day. I was requesting as an industry, how much we are fighting for ourselves. How much noise we are making when some wrong news comes in the news, that the Safed Doodh ka Kala. How much we are reacting? How much we are reacting? Who will protect us? Nobody will protect us to the dairy industry. So this is what, that we have to make, we have to beat our drum little more loudly about these things, that why these things are happening. And wherever there are possibilities, we should curb these adulteration ourselves. Actually, I know in the milk procurement system, now procurement has become so strong. It is not earlier time production, whatsoever the milk comes, you take it. We are talking of that pesticide residue we are talking of, antibiotics we are talking of, aflatoxins, and people when they're receiving the milk, every tanker they try to check it, the sort of standard practices we are doing it. So this has to continue. Along with this, we have veterinary services. And our veterinary services people are the keynote for this. They have to educate the farm. Why this should be done? Because I have taken an emotional quotient in this. When I practice it, I say it's the same milk. If your son drinks, your children drinks, your parents drink, or you drink, what kind of loss it will give to you, what kind of health hazard it will give to you. If we make them understand, I have seen that 90% of the time, they restrict themselves for these kind of practices. I think maybe I don't know if I have taken little extra time, but thank you very much. And this is from my side.
That's been insightful, sir, and could not agree more. Economic pressure gaps in monitoring, lack of consumer and producer awareness, all of these are the causes of the adulteration. And rightly mentioned, I think if somebody from FSSAI is, part of this conversation, listening to it, I think it's time for, them as well. We all know FOPNL is going to come in soon, and then understand how they want to rate it for the milk and milk products, right? So coming to you, Mr. Charles, there have been we've been talking about adulteration, right? And there have been simple and cost effective methods devised for checking adulteration in milk. Detecting adulteration in other value added products are tougher. This causes a lot of consumer anxiety. Are there any set methods that can be used for this?
Yes. Now let me just approach this topic from a different angle. There are three aspects in this. One is technological, another one is nutritional, third one is commercial. Now, when you talk about adulteration is likely to happen in all the three aspects: technological, nutritional, as well as commercial. We have three types of paneer now available: low, medium, and high fat paneer. Depending on the age group, people can consume. And it contains essential amino acids for health. I think Dr. Bhalla very rightly pointed out that this milk protein cannot be replaced by any protein. This analog word, sometime back, I think FSSAI also has sent a circular. I also sent my views. What is the meaning of analog? Something similar, but not in look and structure. It may be similar in look and structure, but it is not the same. Like meat analog, made out of soybean, look like meat, but it is not meat. So whatever analog we talk about today is not of milk. So nutritional aspect wise, it will not give the kind of protein which milk gives to us. Technological, of course, technological, there are a lot many things, the next question you are going to ask is about technological, in which, we have to just spend a lot of money in improving the products and developing it. When you talk about the adulteration, most of the adulteration takes place on commercial aspects because it is on cost of production. Today, when you talk of cost of production of paneer, if you just look at it from a cow milk, it also took 254 rupees per kg of paneer. 254 rupees per kg. But if you look at the market price, there are many people who are ready to give paneer at lower than 254. I am telling about the corporate organized dairy sector. When we manufacture paneer, we take a standard operating procedures, and as per that we just do it. We 254 rupees, 6.2 liters to 6.5 liters per kg of paneer we acquire cow milk, having 4% fat and 8.2% SNF. So it is 254 rupees. So in order to, if you want to just cut anything in this, we cannot do it because in corporate sector, we are just having a quality policy. We work on that. So based on that, if you say we are not in a position many a time compete with the people who are unorganized sector. I think Mohan rightly pointed out, unorganized sector who are coming out with very low quality paneer. FSSAI says even 70% moisture is permitted. It's a low-fat paneer. But the normal thing is it should have 50% fat and dry matter. This is what we say. Then only it will have all the effects of, it will have a fat in that, protein in that. So people, when they take, say, 100 grams of paneer, he will get 18 grams of, protein in that. So keeping that in view, people go for adulteration. The common adulterants used is only this formalin. They use formalin. I think this has come out in Times of India, one of the newspapers from North. There were 702 samples were taken in Noida and Greater Noida, and of which 122 samples were paneer. And of the 122 samples, 83% of the samples did not qualify for the quality test. Very, very sad. And 40% of the total did not qualify for the safety test. That means, it is harmful to the health. So look at it. Formalin always, it damages the organ and it leads to cancer. And people use synthetic milk for it. You know very well. It also causes kidney damage and strain on liver and digestive issues. We have non-dairy fat, it may be palm oil, etc. They add. It also leads to cardiovascular diseases. They add starch in the form of arrowroot or maida. It dilutes the protein content of the paneer. When I say 18 grams, it will not be 18 grams. So now deduction, you are asking the question. Actually, the question has to be answered by Mohan. But the question has come to me because basically I am also a dairy technologist and a dairy microbiologist, having 50 years of experience in the industry. So the simplest test with the FSSAI recommends is you just mash the paneer, put in water, heat it for some time, then cool it, add iodine. If there is starch present, it will become blue. That's all. This is the only test I have seen across because I conduct a lot of FSSAI programs. That's why I just talk about it. There are other tests. People say that you take a piece of paneer, put in a kadai, boil it, if the water is coming out or some. These are all, not having any proof. It do not give you any kind of, indication. So the best thing is, you have to go by the standard methodology. There are many methods available to have now. Near infrared technology is available nowadays. They can just use directly. It will just give the indication of fat, protein, moisture. It will not give you indication of adulteration in it. So for adulteration, you have to go for some traditional methods. And then we have to just find out whether it is adulterated or not. However, you know very well, Diwali is fast approaching. There will be always a question. When the country's milk production is so much, but during Diwali time, more than the production we produce our products, how it comes, etc. It's a million-dollar question which we are not, as dairy technology, we are not able to answer this even today. So adulteration, what will happen? Now, only the manufacturer have to amend themselves. They have to rectify their mistakes. It cannot be done by anyone. There are a lot of, things, if a thief is to be corrected, he has to repent and mend his ways. This is how something like that. If the manufacturers, they want to just mend their ways, then the adulteration can be stopped and we will be getting a safe and quality product to the, you will be able to give safe and quality product to the consumers. FSSAI is also having mobile laboratories. They are just testing it, but still it has to be more stringent. They have to just expand it properly so that they will be in a position to test and tell the people that this is what it is. If you look at it, look at the cases registered. I've just seen some of the reports. So far, the penalty in 2004, 24-25 was only 7.5 lakh. For such a big country having 142 crore population, so many industry in there, almost 2,000, more than 2,000 dairies we have as per the report. 2022 dairies we have. And see the penalty is only 7.5 lakh. How many people have been just jailed? Say only few. Not even, it's not a criminal case against people. 1 or 2 cases, one in say Andhra Pradesh, one in Bangalore, something like that. So this is how it is, Adulteration only is mindset. People have to change the mindset. Number one. Number two is monitoring mechanism. Only with that. So no simple test can find out any adulteration. There are methodology now. There are equipments available by leading suppliers, which will just find out adulterations. And then those things are very expensive, but they have to be just implemented slowly. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bhalla. Yes, the awareness, one thing, the manufacturers being little more diligent and responsible, and I think the regulators as well, for that matter, saying like for the unsafe product, what are we doing about it? It is just the penalty, or is there a recall happening as well, right? Finally, it's there in the market. So is there something called a recall that the regulators are initiating to happen, to get that done? So that I think will help consumers to reduce the anxiety as well, saying like there's some process happening. So coming to you, Mr. Samba, uh, you did touch upon the high protein paneer, and we do see that as a new product category to meet the protein deficiencies that we have or the requirement that we have. How are manufacturers able to deliver high protein levels? Is it by adding additional proteins or some other way out there?
Yeah, this is there are various processing techniques. Basically, high protein actually to extent of 24-25% can be delivered through the milk standardization. So using high protein concentrated milk actually. So high concentrated milk, through that we can deliver that high protein milk. And one way is that we can also add whey protein into that and produce high protein milk by reducing moisture content and all. So these are the basic processing techniques where we are also going to actually launch this high protein paneer with 25% protein actually. So that through this only concentration of milk actually. So through processing and reduction in the moisture content, so that it will be more protein content, and we can also deliver that more actually high protein to 32-33 by adding whey protein also into this actually. So we can deliver that. So that's what we are actually doing it, and the industry also doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think a follow-up question to you, Mr. Samba, saying like adding the protein is one part to it. How about the sensory or the organoleptic properties of the high protein? How is the consumer going to accept that?
Consumer taste-wise, no, I feel that we have also done it actually through consumer, but they cannot differentiate it basically. Wherein in high protein that fat content will be less compared to the regular paneer. So, but however, taste-wise, even our consumer feedback also, they are not able to differentiate. So that is how actually consumer perception. I think we can go ahead with that this thing. And as it is as a milk product, it is tasty. So though it is high protein, but still fat is there in that paneer. So it will be tasty, and there won't be that negative or feedback from the consumer as well, as per the studies.
Yeah, I guess we will have to wait and watch to see how the whole category of product evolves over time. Yeah, so coming to you, Mr. Mohan, we've been touching upon, Dr. Bhalla did touch upon the analog, right? And with analog paneer getting a lot of airtime or the cheese out there, how do you see that category evolving with the whole ice cream versus frozen dessert? Dr. Bhalla did touch upon that as well, saying that people are not yet able to understand the difference between the ice cream and the frozen dessert itself. And there's a new thing to tackle again. Is there a way for the consumers to differentiate the same? Are there any safety issues you see with these products?
You are on mute, Mr. Mohan.
Sure, yeah, Sarika, it's an excellent question. I think you're taking us a little bit back in time when you're drawing an analogy of ice cream versus the frozen dessert. to the present day situation wherein we are competing as a dairy industry between the paneer and the the other analogs. Well, firstly, with respect to the ice cream versus the frozen dessert, I will say that time has passed. Although as a dairy fraternity, we have kind of come to terms with that change, I guess. And the FSSA has laid very clear regulations into it. So it's very clear that in on the labeling front, something which is not containing a milk fat or milk protein, or if it is replaced partially, even if it is an ice cream, it cannot be called an ice cream. So the regulations are clear, and the industry has adopted that. But at the end, for the ice in between ice cream and the frozen dessert, at a consumer end, the confusion remains. They don't understand. So the consumer will not look into these kind of details when making a choice to buy. So now that was something which, as a dairy fraternity, we have come to terms. But now, in the present scenario, if you see paneer versus analog paneer, definitely see the main difference on how it is made. Actually, Dr. Bhalla and Mr. Charles have mentioned. So if you see the analog paneer, it is actually made with kind of starch proteins which are either plant-based or some kind of soya, pea, or any other things, and it also has some vegetable oils which actually mimic the texture, look alike. So it exactly looks like that. But Mr. Charles was mentioning, so why is it coming into the picture at all? If you see the prime motive, there are a couple of reasons why this particular entire thing is coming into the picture. The first thing is there was some medical awareness that is slowly coming up and increasing about the lactose intolerance, etc., the milk allergies and other things. Some are medical grounds, but there is also another case wherein the vegan as a theme is catching up. So these two are some of the enablers or kind of things which are actually promoting this kind of analog paneer. Apart from that, the immediate cause is the cost which is actually involved, which can be delivered to the end consumer. As Mr. Charles has mentioned, the milk paneer, there is a almost 40-50% rate reduction when it compared to the plant paneer versus milk paneer. So when it comes to safety, well, yeah, still the FSSA has very clearly mandated that you cannot use any dairy term for a plant-made paneer, and it has to be clearly labeled that there should not, it does not contain milk protein, does not contain milk solids. That labeling norms have already been set, but I'm not sure if the consumers will have that much time and awareness, even though they are educated. They will just prefer, the first choice will be to go for a kind of the cheaper option. But however, having said that, in terms of safety point of view, let's break down it into two pieces. On the safety front, even if it is a milk paneer or a plant paneer, if it is not adulterated and if it is processed hygienically, from consumption point of view, I don't see any risk in terms of safety. But what really differentiates the end consumer feeling or the technical difference is the nutritive value. So the nutritive value which is there in plant paneer is quite less compared to what it is there in the milk protein. So that is the clear differentiation which, as a dairy fraternity, we need to kind of explicitly kind of campaign. So as Dr. Bhalla was mentioning, so dairy protein is a complete protein wherein all the amino acids, 9-10 amino acids are there, which are abundant in nature. see, even the plant protein does have some kind of amino acids, but not all the essential amino acids, which are not made by the human body. So whereas the dairy protein has got all this at a required level, which will actually help the will be beneficial in terms of health. So that is one part which I think as a dairy fraternity we need, rather than safety, it is more about the nutritive value which takes precedence, which needs to be educated to the consumers and understood. And so that's what I feel. So now when it comes to label check, as I already mentioned, it clearly mandates, but we need to really see how this particular category will evolve and how the people will be able to understand this labeling patterns and other things, because these are all limited mainly to the food industry experts and the dairy industry and FSSAI. So only thing here, I mean, our urge to the FSSAI would be to very clearly, they should be, kind of checking enforcement of this particular category. So what happens is there is a lot of social media and promotions which are happening. So the products, the enforcement regulation agency need to have that kind of sampling mechanism on checking the product, not only on checking the product, but also on labeling part, especially for this analog paneer which is coming up, which will actually promote the right nutritive paneer to the human consumption. So that is one thing. So adulteration point of view, yes, in terms of safety, whether it is milk, if it is adulterated, or a plant protein which is adulterated, will have its own challenges. So that's there. But in terms of all other ingredients, the shelf lives and other things, if you see, the risk of the spoilages are slightly higher in a plant protein, because if the vegetable oils, mainly which are the fat replacers, they tend to develop some kind of rancidity in the plant protein. So these are some of the factors which we have to see. Apart from, so the immediate factors, there are 3 immediate factors which are actually promoting this category. One is the vegan buzz. The second one is definitely the cost factor. And the third one is definitely the lactose intolerance factor. But having said that, what I see is paneer is a buzzword now, and post-COVID it has become a buzzword. But where this particular paneer or plant analogs will get positioned or will gain more market, I will divide it into 2. One, in the Horeca segment, where the cost matters a lot. Where I see a risk for the paneer, milk paneer, is because it's a cheaper alternative. So the Horeca segment there is a likely chance that they can pick up the cheaper alternative compared to the milk protein. But whereas when it comes to homes, we all are very well aware of the nutritive value of the milk protein and milk paneer. So obviously, I don't see any kind of risk in diluting or the share of the people, unless there are medical grounds of shifting from paneer to paneer analog at home level. But yes, the risk will prevail more at the Horeca segment. So, so in a bottom line, yes, it can be a repeat of the ice cream versus frozen dessert scenario. I expect the FSSAI to do clear, enforce the labeling properly, and as a dairy fraternity to campaign very well, and easy to read labels on the packs. Yeah, any organized brand should be okay, but any unorganized sector, safety is a big question mark.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. Great insights, very clearly explained. But yes, again, as a consumer, right, or as per the labeling and display regulation, there are no strict regulations for the Horeca. Or for example, if I'm ordering a pizza, I don't know what's going into it. Is it the cheese going into it, or is it an analog that's getting added to it, right? We did hear the news, hue and cry about saying like, see, this company is using an analog, right? So consumer awareness is important. Enforcement in terms of regulation or clear ingredients been mentioned, so that as a consumer can make their choices. That's something which is missing today, and it has been a trend, I would say, ordering from outside, eating from outside. So much more clearer information for the consumers is important. And yes, we are a price sensitive, consumers still, and that I think we should leave it to the consumers to decide. Yeah, coming to you, Dr. Bhalla, out here. We do understand that FSSAI has some labeling requirement of dairy analog products. They also published a consultation paper on compliance with the provisions of analog in dairy context. Do you expect some more regulations coming in this space? Dr. Bhalla? Okay. I think he's there though. Anyway, so Dr. Bhalla? Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yes,
this question
Sarika.
is for you.
Sarika,
Yes,
can
sir.
you hear? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, I was got little this thing. So anyway, I'll just spend another 5 minutes with you because
Yes,
I
sir.
have missed few things. But I'm talking about the protein concentrated paneer or any product which is protein concentrated. Let's recap ourselves because this is not something which is very new to everybody. We have three ingredients, three components of milk: fat, lactose, and protein. Now, if we want to increase the protein, there are two ways. Either I remove the moisture and then all the three portions will increase proportionally. That is what we don't want. So we remove lactose, we remove partially fat, and then concentrate the paneer. It's very tricky because protein is very unstable, as he has mentioned, that Charles has mentioned, that protein is very tricky. So we have to really always find out a method to balance between the protein stability and the protein content. So this is how it can, Amul, for example, I'm not saying good about the protein or bad about the Amul. See, Amul has come up with a lot of products. They are high in protein. Worldwide, there are products. The 250 ml gives you almost 22 grams of protein, or 32 grams. It is happening, but it is a little dicey products. But we have to work out in our own conditions also. And that is possible. It is not something which is not possible. That is one thing. Another thing, when we are talking about the adulteration, see, we have to differentiate between the two things. One is label declaration. If it is plant protein, it's okay, no problems. You declare it. If it is a combination of plant protein and milk protein, declare it. How much you have done, because this is not adulteration. Adulteration is, or misbranding or the mislabeling is, you are calling it milk protein, but actually you are adding plant protein. You are cheating the consumer. It is happening in a lot of restaurants because we have got that iodine test, blah blah blah, but that doesn't work. And that as Mr. Murthy has also mentioned, that we have to find out some methods, analytical methods. They are easy to do, and they should have the quick, rapid tests so that we can state, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. So anyway, NDRI and a lot of other associations are working with this, how to do it. But in the meantime, at least let us keep our consumer aware with the label declaration. This is from my side, Sarika, and I will request you to please forgive me, and I have to pull out from the meeting. I will go through the.
So before you leave, just one small question about the analog in data, right? Do you expect some more regulations coming in this space?
Yes, we are expecting.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We are expecting some more clarities coming. Because see, ultimately, regulators are also part of us. It is not that they don't want to do it; they want to do it. But there are a lot of to and fro things. Those are happening. So anyway, that is what is from my side. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, sir, with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, coming to you, Mr. Charles, we did understand, right, the analogs versus the milk, protein that we have. And in terms of cost competitiveness of the analogs, these are generally ultra processed products where we would expect the cost of processing to be higher. Then how are they able to compete on pricing with the regular dairy products?
Primarily, I am against using the word analog. This is what I have been just telling in many forums. Either it is dairy product or non-dairy product. So this question, I think, is very, very awkward for me to take. Now, first thing I will tell you again, when I talked about the cost of production, I told 254 rupees from cow milk. See, around 85 to 90% we spend on raw material, plus citric acid or GDL, whatever it may be. 7.5% is on processing cost, 2.5% on packing cost. Then 20% we have to give to our distributors and retailers. Then again, there is a transportation cost and we have to get some margin. We are not doing anything for charity. So at least a 5 to 10% margin we should get. Now you tell me at this rate, when I go to the market, my paneer will cost 450 rupees per kg. Right? Now, when you are talking about non-dairy product or in your language, it is analog. So they will also come and compete with me at 450 rupees. But the quality of the constituents of that paneer is much, much inferior than what is in milk paneer. So we have to compete with them. Sometimes they will give at a cheaper cost. Oreca sector, as Mohan rightly points out, Oreca sector will be wooed by them and they will just go on cost effectiveness. And then they say it's cost effectiveness. This is on the nutrition side, it is very dangerous and they just purchase it. So when you compete with all these people, our sale normally comes down. It will not be able, we will not be able to bring it on a higher sale. So as Murthy points out, we will go for high protein paneer, right? Because, that is only the sector of people will understand that they will purchase it. Other people will only look at the price point because at price point only many things works out. You know about the shelf life of paneer at 4 degrees centigrade is only 14 days, not more than that. Now we have retort paneer also available at room temperature. It can be kept for 45 days. But still, people want paneer in a cold condition. They do not want at the room temperature. So there is a lot of, the innovations are coming up, but still, people are not aware of many things. As we have UHT milk, which can be kept at room temperature. We have extended shelf life milk, which can be kept at room temperature 60 days or 90 days or 30 days. Still, people go for milk, which is having shelf life of only 48 hours. Because our tradition is like that. And we purchase milk, we boil it, though it is already processed. So these are some of the things which we cannot even change. So when people go for price point of thing, they will go for non-dairy products or like analog, which you call it. But if you want definitely the value of that nutrition or nutritive value to be passed on to the consumer, then they have to go for the milk paneer only. That's why FSSAI has come out with the low-fat paneer with 70% up to maximum 70% moisture they are just permitting. So low-fat paneer also can be utilized, but at the same time, the protein content remains because there's no change in the paneer. The protein content, the fat content is reduced. Similarly, medium fat and high fat paneer are available. But again, when you talk about the taste matters. High fat paneer definitely is rich in fat. Fat gives a lot of taste. So taste is only from the fat comes from. Protein taste is very blunt. If you just take protein as it is very blunt. That's why, all the protein drinks, whatever you get, will have sugar, so many things added to it. That's why we are able to take up. If you just take the protein as it is, you cannot even consume it. It is have a odor, also different odor. So there are a lot of other issues in it. So keeping that in your competition in the marketplace is very, very difficult for us with the non-dairy products. Like, he pointed out about the ice cream and frozen dessert. People do not understand it. Both are same price. So they get an advantage and they just make money out of it. We lose money. We lose our market, everything. So as a result, we cannot compromise on quality. So we just stick to our stand and we just give a quality product. So only thing is the awareness of the people when it increases. I think the younger generation is aware of it. Google is giving a lot of information to them, sometimes wrong information also to them. So they just get some lot of knowledge about it and they ask for it, whether it is right. And after COVID, people are looking at the expiry date. Before that, no one looks at it. Now, even a biscuit packet is purchased, we just look at it, whether it is expired, whether it is having the expiry date of 2 days or 3 days, then we don't even purchase it. So a lot of awareness coming up slowly, I think. In another couple of years, there will be a lot of change. Maybe FSSA has to come forward. This is an appeal. I already sent my message to them. It should be non-dairy product. There is no analog here because analog is analog. Analog is not original. Thank you.
So, as you mentioned, Charles, sir, as you mentioned, there's a breakdown that you mentioned for the dairy product, right? For making paneer, what is your raw material cost? What is your processing cost?
Yes,
What
yes.
is the distribution cost? And all of those, right? With the analog, right, that is there in the market, where do you think? Is it the raw material cost, because of the raw material being cheaper, the whole product becomes cheaper because the processing is higher versus our paneer processing. So where do you see that difference though?
Definitely raw material cost will be cheaper because milk protein is expensive. The other protein is cheaper. Other fats like vegetable fat is cheaper. Milk fat is expensive. Processing, of course, I will not even talk about processing because I have not even tried that so far. I have not worked with any non-dairy products so far. The last 50 years, I've been working only with the milk products. So, sorry, I have no idea. But one thing is that if they are going for ultra high treated product, definitely the cost of processing will be higher. And the cost of transportation will be lower because it will go at room temperature. It need not even have a cold chain. 4 degrees centigrade cold chain is not required. So they may be able to save in some one portion or one factor. Another factor they will be incurring little high, but the raw material cost will be definitely cheaper. And the consumer, if you say non-dairy and dairy, right, they are a choice because when we were in colleges, dairy science colleges, we were only told about only one product, which is you call it analog or non-dairy, is margarine. Today, margarine is having a separate market. Amul is selling as light. Amul light is that is the brand name they use it. People who are conscious about other things, that fat and everything, they can. But American, US FDA, they are told this is not a nutrient of concern now. Butter oil, egg, coconut oil, ghee, no nutrient. So you have to take in ad libitum so that you will be able to. And cholesterol is good for health. They say once upon a time we were telling. I've been telling in 20, 30 years during my NDDB days also in collectors meeting, I used to always talk about this cholesterol. No one cared it. Now people are just slowly coming forward and doing it. So, ma'am, again I will conclude analog is not original. Please, I'm sorry that I have not done any work on it, so I will not be able to give any kind of casting of that side. Thank you.
No problem, sir. Thank you so much. That was insightful. So I'll also call that as a plant-based alternative, right? Instead of analog. So switching over to, coming to you, Mr. Samba, switching over to plant-based alternatives, which are gaining popularity worldwide and primarily driven by, as we said, lactose intolerance, allergies, and also, moving to a more cruelty-free food, right? How do you see the competing in the category?
First, I would like to say that plant-based alternatives won't replace dairy paneer or dairy products. That is number one. Number two, we'll have to see that plant-based alternative. One is the soya. That is, cost is less compared to the milk cost. But there are other plant-based protein products which are oat and almonds, then peanuts and all. So they are actually more costlier than milk. So people may use these plant-based alternatives for that premium segment or mostly high cost, high cost spending community, and also the health conscious people. But in general, people won't afford to buy or go for the high cost plant based alternatives. The basically the price premium, because the almond milk or oat milk, it is costly than the milk. For example, I have some data, it is about some 150 to 250 per liter, whereas milk price is about 50 to 70 rupees. So at the plant level. So generally that high health conscious and high affordable people only can go for that premium consumers. Then second is, if you take about that, we spoke about soya paneer and all, but their protein percentage is much lesser, half of milk protein percentage. So if you make as it is as protein percent of milk 18 to 20%, then the cost also will go up. As Mr. Mohan mentioned, that it is just basically that Horeca segment, which looks for low cost, and then they will prefer it. As a consumer, generally they need the taste wise it should be good, texture wise it should be good, and then it is a reasonable price, which is nothing but dairy paneer only. So I don't think that this will replace anything. For example, as Charles also mentioned, when we were launching at about 30 years back or 20 years back UHT milk, we thought that consumer will switch over to UHT milk, but that growth is not that much. People will prefer fresh milk. Similarly, here also will happen like that. So the people will prefer now fresh paneer, and that too dairy paneer. So this will not give any disadvantage to the dairy industry. So it will also go. Plant-based alternatives will grow, but to certain extent. But it will not dent or create any issue to the dairy products or dairy paneer. Right? Yeah.
That's good to hear, and a positive side to it, saying that whatever comes, we being an agriculture based and a milk producer, big time milk producer, then there's no effect in our selling or consumption because of the alternatives that's coming. That's really good to hear. Coming to you, Mr. Mohan, you did touch upon saying, like, from farm to till the packet, right? So there's a lot of things that goes in, and milk being a very high risk food, definitely it needs a lot of technology in place. What role do you see technology playing in improving productivity and food safety, from farm management to cold chain logistics?
Okay, right. Sarika, if you see, it's a right question. I think for enhancing the safety, I think technology is becoming the major enabler. Whether we like it or not, the technology is rapidly evolving, and how dairy industry adopts this particular technology is something which is going to be an area of interest. So if you see, the first thing is at the farm level, where the technology is being adopted. Of course, it's not on a big scale, but still a lot of technological advancements have happened, wherein the feed management, the rumination time, there are a lot of IoT sensors or enablers which are being put to the animals, which will help the feeding practices, and it will help the body temperature monitoring, and that will give us the feed optimization practices. And there is also a lot of stress being given. We were talking about high protein for the humans, but there is also high protein feeds which are coming, which are recently approved by the FSSAI, which are actually being supplied by many of the organized sector producers. So in this way, at farm level, definitely using this technology and feed management to help the animal, or to improve the health of the animal, and improve the safety of milk, improve. There are kind of technology that is coming to detect the mastitis, which is a very common disease early in the at the farm level. So it will enable safe milk in terms of less antibiotic milk coming onto the processing sector. When it comes to the collection and quality testing in the next step in the value chain, definitely there are tests which are available, but what is really evolving is the rapid technologies which are evolving. And for any processed, for any organized sector, like all of us who are there in this call, to kind of check the quality of the milk at the collection level, we need to start searching and we need to start adopting the rapid analysis kits, which is going to be very, very essential. Not just the fat and SNF, but how rapidly can we detect the adulterations, the various adulterations, and how can we quickly enable the rejection of milk at that particular point of time. Because when the scale increases, very difficult. Milk comes daily, it goes out. But the old traditional methods, testing, we can't expect the person who is there to check each and every can, which we for 7-8 adulterants practically. So the rapid evolving kits are easy to use kits is going to be the way where the technology is evolving. And we as a Dodla, we have started scouting and we are kind of implementing many rapid checking technologies at the chilling center level. This, apart from that, if you see from the processing and packaging point of view, as I had mentioned earlier, in an organized sector, the processing and packaging has advanced much. Many of the companies are using the automation tools. People are upgrading their and revamping their automation systems to kind of to the level of predictive maintenance of the equipment, and also upgrading the entire technologies with hardly any human touch. Nowadays, we have, apart from milk, we also have automated paneer plants which are coming up where there is no human touch. So this kind of thing is definitely the technology as an enabler has been adopted quite well in terms of the organized setup. But when it comes to unorganized, again, we don't know how it is there. So even the testing part is also something which is evolving. So a lot of new tests which will help us detect the anomalies in the products are also being adopted. So earlier days, the HPLCs and GCMSs, these are the equipments which were mainly there in the pharma industries and pharma setups. But now these particular equipment are being validated for the dairy products as well. So some of us have started kind of deploying something like a GCMS or a HPLCs, which will actually enable us detect the adulterations, not only adulterations, but also the kind of profiling which is happening, the protein value, nutritive values, and other things. So another important thing in the value chain, the last step is the cold chain. We all know that cold chain is one of the biggest challenges for the dairy sector. So I think there are a lot of solar-powered vans which I am seeing, which are coming up, and especially solar-powered. We are also launching a lot of solar-powered village-level collection centers and bulk coolers, which actually will bridge the gap between the rural shortage of electricity, especially India being the sun an abundant country, at least for majority of the season. So this is one part. So this is what we are able to we are seeing technology as an enabler. But when it comes to the consumer end, especially a kind of, we should start encouraging the digital labels, digitization, and also some kind of encouragement, which the government or FSSA, somebody needs to very clearly say that there is a difference, or encourage that please buy packaged foods which are properly labeled. So this will, so there should be some kind of technology which is already evolving, which will help the people to scan the things. Now the generation of Gen Z, they know everything now to scan everything to get the details. So we as a processing companies need to include this kind of easy to use and technologies and easy to use rapidly used labels and easy to understand. So we discussed some time back about the challenges in differentiating and the consumer perception. So we should start using these kind of labels for education and building the awareness of the consumers. So technology, yes, surely is going to be the way we are going to improve the overall quality, perception, safety across the milk value chain.
Very well covered, Mr. Mohan, right from the farm to the fork, right? How enablers the technology can be to improve the systems, the processes, and all of those, right? So we are towards the end of our session. So before we go towards that, I would request you, all of you, to do a quick wrap up and final comments before the audience questions are taken over. So, Mr. Samba, we'll start with you. Your final quick wrap up. You're on mute. Yes.
Mute.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah. So through this forum, actually, I request all of the consumer should get awareness about dairy products, dairy protein and all, and try to consume dairy products. So to get more protein or milk is, it is a good diet actually. So then they have to go in for even young generation which are coming. They have to actually start with milk, even their teenagers, young ages and all. So try to get awareness and as a dairy companies, organized dairy companies, whether cooperatives or private dairies should always know communicate about good things about goodness about milk and milk products, so that consumer will get aware and appeal the consumer to go for a good branded dairy products always, and make use of it and for the health benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samba. Over to you, Mr. Mohan.
I definitely echo what Mr. Samba Murthy has mentioned. Added to it, I would urge the regulator, the FSSA, to kind of treat dairy as a separate category. Do not club dairy into the other ultra processed foods, even for the upcoming FOP and labeling. And it should not end up as a misguide rather than the entire aim of that India nutrition trading, which is coming, where the matter is adjudicated in the Supreme Court, is that to educate and promote the health and reduce the instances of non-communicable diseases. So it is very important to treat dairy as a separate category, not only from the way the scale it is organized, but also from the nutritive value it gives compared to the ultra processed foods and the beverages which are non-dairy. And also I request all the consumers to be to try to get themselves more aware of the the richness of the dairy, and kind of promote the pre-packaged foods and packaged foods rather than going for the unorganized sector and putting their health at risks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. And last but not least, over to you, Mr. Charles.
Okay, the industry, according to me, should become highly competitive because we are just in a price war between non-dairy and dairy products. So we are always squeezed between the producers and the consumers. As processors, we have a lot of problems. There are controllable costs, uncontrollable costs. So we have to manage within that. So one solution is automation, so that we can just cut cost on the manpower. Also, we can reduce some of the other expenditure. Efficiency can be improved. Number two, we talk about different tests, because we are all declaring conducted the village level 18 tests, but 24 tests we conduct at the dairy level. But we don't even talk this point aloud among the 51 tests we are conducting from the point of purchase till the point of sale. So 50 plus tests we are conducting, that we are incurring a lot of expenditure for it. There are so many latest gadgets to come out. I think there are many companies, they are just coming out with a lot of RFID kind of technology. With that, they are doing it. And the corporates can best use those, gadgets, and then they can just test the products. Number three, the consumer should know that what they consume, whether it is dairy or non-dairy. They are at free to decide whether they want to take dairy or non-dairy or a mixture of both. It is based on the bulkiness of the purse they have. So that is up to them to decide. And above all, the regulators have to be very alert, and they have to also use the expertise available in the country. There are many experts in dairy field. Use them properly so that we will be in a position to provide a safe and quality product to the consumers. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll take a last question. I know we have overshooted already. Right. There's a question saying, how can industry bodies collaborate with regulators to ensure that the advisories do not just remain on paper, but translate into safer products in the market?
I think we have Indian Dairy Association. I think through this IDA, we can, our government authorities, or we can also approach through them, through even to FSSA and all, so that lot of discussion, deliberations will happen, and then finally the statutory bodies also will form the policies accordingly. That is what I feel.
Mr. Mohan, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, can you just repeat the question for me so that we can get it? What was that?
Yeah. The question was, how can industry bodies collaborate with regulators to ensure that advisories do not just remain on paper, but translates into safer products in the market?
Right. So when it comes to industry bodies, I definitely echo Samba Murthy's point of view. One forum is definitely the IDA, which is there, in which all of us are an integral part of that. But apart from that, whatever advisories that are coming up, we do the voluntary compliance. So voluntary compliance is something that is very, very important for us as a dairy industry and for us as a dairy manufacturers. So within the organized dairy sector, we know how we implement the compliances and advisories. So we urge, and there are also a lot of forums where the advisories are coming up, and FSSAI puts an open session wherein they seek the industry inputs or opinions. We, as an industry, we do participate in those surveys, and we give our inputs from the industry point of view. So there is a continuous collaboration. And even FSSAI is also not imposing anything directly. They are actually giving it for as a draft regulation. They are calling for kind of opinions and the industry's view. At that point of time, as an industry, we huddle and we see what is the impact, what is the impact of each and every regulation, and then we give a feedback to the FSSAI in terms of submission of the our representation. Hope that answers the question.
Absolutely, yes. Mr. Charles, anything from you?
Yes, from the Indian Dairy Association, as the Central Executive Board member, I would like to point out here, association is doing its best to echo the views of both private dairies and cooperatives. We are taking up with the FSSAI whenever there is an issue, and we talk to them. We also have an industry committee at the association level in which Many of them are members and along with some experts. So we conduct meeting at least twice a year and we get their views also. Further, FSI is whenever they want to put a regulation or implement a regulation, they send a draft. Only my question is how many industry people are responding to it is only a biggest issue for me. So only few are responding, and based on that, I think they take the decision. Now, after that, they lament, they come to Indian Dairy Association and ask for the support. So there are many issues. I think there is no time to talk about it because there are many examples I can just draw over the years and how the association has been helping the people and how the industry has had taken these things very lightly, and after they are questioned or some notices received by them, they come to IDA for some support. So these kind of things should be avoided. I think it's a regulation is not only FSSAI's role, but it's also our role. As industry, we are also responsible. I think the industry should rise up to the occasion, and then we should support FSSAI so that all of us jointly can just safeguard the safety and health of the public in the country.
I agree.
I think rightly mentioned, food safety is everyone's business, right? It's just not one person who can drive everything happening, right? So yeah, with this, we come to our end of our session, and thank you to all of our esteemed speakers for sharing their insights and expertise on the current scenario of the dairy industry in India. Today's discussion has highlighted the persistent challenges of adulteration in milk, paneer, and other dairy products, as well as the evolving role of technology, regulation, and consumer awareness in ensuring food safety. Safeguarding quality and maintaining consumer trust is a shared responsibility across the entire dairy value chain, from producers and regulators to retailers and households. As India continues to lead in both dairy production and consumption, adopting robust practices, enhancing compliance, and empowering consumers with practical knowledge will be the key to building a safer and more transparent dairy sector. I'd like to thank our speakers again and all of you for your participation and engagement. As we start wrapping up, a little bit about ourselves. We are food safety, regulatory, and compliance company on a mission to keep food safe for human consumption. Food Safety Conversation is our webinar series to share knowledge from the practitioners on various aspects of food safety. Do share your feedback on our email ID, feedback@foodsafetyworks.com. If there are any topics that you would like us to cover, please send them as well, and we will try to bring them to you. To stay updated on our webinars, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, and our handle is Food Safety Works. We regularly share news and insights about what is going on in the world of food safety. As a company, we are committed to sharing the knowledge and providing end-to-end solutions for food safety. We conduct regular online trainings on various topics, including post-tax training, as per the FSSAI mandate. To check out how we can help you on your journey of health, safety, and food, please visit our website, www.foodsafetyworks.com. While you are there, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. We now have the My FSSAI platform, which makes compliance easy. You can download the app from the App Store to get started. You also get all the latest updates from FSSAI on that platform. Thank you once again for joining. Have a good rest of the day and wishing you safe times ahead. Thank you so much for being part of this webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.